Weilyn, what is on your bucket list?
Ooh, that's such a good question. I feel like you get to know someone so well based on what's on their bucket list. So
Definitely.
I'm excited to kind of dive into what's on your bucket list and what's on mine.
100%. I feel like there's different categories there. Like there's definitely a category of like travel because that's a big part of mine. Like a big part of that is travel like experiences. I have my bucket list pulled up here, but I actually don't call it a bucket list. I read this like blog post maybe like 2 years ago or something where someone called it their impossible list because the whole idea is like it's you're going to do such incredible things in your life like it's impossible, but it's not possible, but you're going to be doing the impossible. So I call it my impossible list. And yeah, there's a bunch of random things on here and we can just kind of like go off of them. So like the first thing or not the first thing. One thing I have on here is I want to travel to all 7 continents. Like that's a huge thing for me. Like I'm a huge travel bug or whatever you want to call it.
And you're also a huge geography person.
I'm a
Like that's your
huge
thing.
geography nerd. Like I 100% am. 100% Quizable geography. I got you. Yeah, all 7 continents. I definitely want to do that. Yeah, Africa and South America, Antarctica have not been done yet, but that is on the list. What about you? Do you have any like travel ones that you're really into?
Yeah, I think growing up we traveled a lot, especially because we lived in the Netherlands. So like
Mm-hmm.
just like driving around, I'm sure you know, like you're in
Mm-hmm.
Paris right now, it's so easy to travel
Mm-hmm.
between countries. But I was so young and I feel like things have slowed down for me and my family. Like we don't do as much traveling just because, like location wise and like we're in
Mm-hmm.
college and blah blah
COVID.
blah. But I want to catch the travel bug again. I feel like that's on my bucket list. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I've been like very homebody, I think, as a product of
Mm-hmm.
COVID. And I just want to
Mm-hmm.
feel excited to like go on trips again. And like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I feel like I'm like the idea of going on a trip
Different
right now for
phases.
me is like so like it still induces
So
a
weird.
little bit of like nervousness and like a
Oh my
little
God,
bit of
yeah.
like anxiety, but I'm excited to just kind of like get back into it. I
Yeah, and
think
there's definitely different phases of traveling. Like when I was in China, I didn't leave China for a year and a half, but I traveled a lot within China. Like that's super interesting too. Like you're traveling a lot within the Northeast right now. Like New Jersey like the back of your hand. Know New York well. Like Philadelphia. Like that area a lot. And like that's not to say like for the rest of your life you won't be back, but I doubt unless you live in the area, you're going to be traveling in between those trains as much as you will right now. So like honestly, like
yeah.
honor that. Like that's super cool. Like there's other times that you'll
You
be
know,
traveling
that's yeah,
different
that's so
places. It's true.
fascinating. I feel
Yeah,
like I never consider my trips to New York or like to Philly as
it's
like
cool.
travel trips. I
Yeah,
always am just like, oh, like I'll just pop on
logistics.
over
Yeah.
because it's so close.
Mm-hmm.
But you're so right. Yeah, I think that like small scale travel, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like large picture, Antarctica is on my list.
Mm.
Somewhere warm and like
Penguins. Can everyone get the
penguins.
penguin backstory? That is a huge thing. I can't believe you didn't start off with that.
Yeah, no, I really want to go to Antarctica or like see penguins at some
Yes.
point. But it started when I was in probably like kindergarten or like first grade-ish, where like our first grade teacher in the Netherlands, like every semester or every quarter, she would like pick something for us to like obsess over for like that 2 months or
I
whatever. And
love
so
that. Wait,
for
like learn 20 low key?
yeah, like
Wait,
low
I kind
key.
of love
But
that.
basically, like we entered the classroom that like the beginning of that semester, and she had like a bunch of penguin stuffed toys, and she's like, everyone has to take one and learn how to take care of it, but also like learn about penguins. And that's kind of how it all started. And then me and my best friend Martha at the time, we both like loved penguins, and that kind of just continued after I moved and all over, which was cool.
That's so much fun. Okay, definitely travel. We've gone there. Like there's some specific spots. I would say like three top the ones for me. Definitely I've said this a million times, but the whole western coast of South America, going from like the up
Yeah,
Machu Picchu down Galapagos, hiking Patagonia to Antarctica. That's like
I
one huge
love
one.
that.
I want
Yeah.
to do like a boat through all like the Mediterranean, Greek islands, Croatia vibes. And then I want to do a whole like African safari in
I
sub-Saharan
love,
Africa. Those are the
yeah.
three top ones if I could do that.
Safari for sure. Antarctica for me for sure.
Yes.
And then also just like seeing the Northern Lights, which is kind of like
Mm,
related, but also just seeing like the 7 natural wonders of the world and the 7 wonders of the world, I think
mm.
would be amazing.
100%. Okay, switching gears a little bit. Another thing I have on my list is learning how to play bridge and mahjong.
Oh,
I think there's
interesting.
such cool high level games. I learned how to play the basic version of mahjong in China. Hong Kong is apparently like super, like it's a harder version. I learned how to play the basic one. It is like so much strategy, so much like mental hay game memorization. Like I think it's so cool. And then growing up, one of my best friends, her mom was like a bridge queen, like complete. And like it was such an intellectual game. I thought it was so fast. And I was like, oh my goodness, like one day I'm gonna learn how to play it. So those two games are also on my bucket list. Any thoughts? Can you play Mahjong or bridge?
So I've learned Mahjong a handful of different times, and my mom
feel
has
that.
taught me a handful of times, but I definitely don't like consider myself a Mahjong player. My mom loves it though, so I feel like that could
Oh
be
my
a
God, good
fun
for
like
her.
little bonding thing for
Yeah.
us.
Next pandemic.
Yeah.
Pandemic.
I think kind of similar to that though, I would love to find a good party trick, like something that I'm just good at for the sake of just like there's no actual value in me being good at, but it's like something cool.
Oh my
Like,
God, that's such a
yeah,
good thing to
right?
have. No, for
Well,
sure.
like if you're good at bridge, I feel like that's such a flex at a party, or like you're good
Yeah.
at Mahjong, like all those Chinese New Year gatherings, like you're top of the game.
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
I
No,
don't
you
really
are.
have one of those.
Oh, that would be so good. Oh my goodness. My only like party trick, and that's really, really not, is like if I'm ever in a yoga class, I can bend like completely backwards and bend back up. But that's super like the standing thing, like a little gymnast. That's the only thing I can do. That's like a party trick-ish. And that's such a weird circumstance. That's the only thing I can take. Zero value outside of that.
I feel like that is better than the only flexibility that I have is I can put both of my legs over my head.
That's huge.
But it's like not like a thing that I can show. Like I can't be at a party and be like,
oh my
"Look
God,
at
wait,
me."
no. Oh my God. I had some friends at NYU Shanghai. They could do like the spinning with their, you know, I don't know how to describe it. They could like break dance where they were like spinning and their feet were in the air. Like immediately. My friend Pedro, he can do a backflip like that. Crazy. That's such a good party trick. 100%. Yeah. Another one that I have, I want to build my dream house. Tell me elements of your dream house. Where is it? What does it look like? Lighting, space, rooms. What does your dream house look like? Tell me your vibe.
I love that. And I think it's so cool. Like someone once told me to get like into real estate early. And I was
honestly,
like, no,
true.
like not really. But actually what she does is really interesting. She basically like she like buys a house in one place. She lives there for 3 months. And then as she's living there, she looks for another place to buy. And then she buys that place in a completely different country, but then rents the place that she's currently at. And she's going to do that for a couple of years so that she like gains a lot of property. Anyway, that's a whole other story. But
wait, that's crazy.
I know, right?
For her.
I think my dream house though is, I don't know. I fluctuate between different styles, but I definitely think I love like the minimalist, like clean aesthetic with a lot of natural light coming in. I think we're both the same in that aspect, like just lots of light.
Big windows.
Big window.
100%.
Exactly, big windows. Growing up, I always wanted like a 3-story house, but
why 3?
honestly, I think in the near future, like I would love just like a sleek apartment, like a cozy, but like really nice modern looking apartment.
Yeah, I want like a sexy couch, but like the coziest blanket.
100%.
Like that dynamic there. I want an open kitchen vibe. I don't like to cook, but I like the interactivity of the kitchen, like an island. An island is a game. No, for sure, an island.
Yeah.
LED lights. 100%.
You already know.
You already know. Big areas like to put art there and things like that. I want lots of different art. I want a big bookshelf. Last time I was at my friend's house for dinner and I was like snooping. I always snoop like at the books people have in their house because I think you can tell so much about someone by like what books they have. So like definitely want to have an eclectic book
you would love
collection.
In Singapore, actually, when we were living there, my dad built a 99 shelf bookshelf on our attic floor with like a ladder, and that was like his big project. And we had so many books just like filled, like they were like little cubby holes and they like reached the entire ceiling. It was
so cute.
My second grade self was creeped out by the attic though, so like I rarely went up there. Like I think about it a lot.
You think about it a lot. No, that's important. That's crazy.
You know, we moved from a house to an apartment in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So we actually had to get rid of all of those books.
And so no. If they were ever to those books, just donate them?
Yeah, we like there was like a big book sale that we did.
Okay, fair.
But yeah, my dad's always like, if we go back, like it's gonna be so empty. And I'm like, yeah, it will be.
No, books are so important. That's another thing too. Like I want to have a really cool book collection. And like 100%. That's another part of the house as well. Of course, I like, you know, like novels and chapter books and the like, why do I say chapter books as if I'm in second grade and I'm like graduating, but you know what I mean? I also want like sexy as F, like National Geographic travel, gorgeous like books that you have on your coffee table. Like I am
I
huge
think
for
you would
coffee
love
tables.
like
I
an
would love
atlas, like a really
an
beautiful
atlas. I would love an atlas. If someone gets me like a beautiful atlas, oh my God, that would be beautiful. Like I love, no, you're totally right. I'm putting that on my want list right now. I want someone to get me a beautiful atlas. One
I
second,
love
BRB
that.
want list atlas. Like a
Yeah.
beautiful atlas. No,
Yeah.
Waylon, that's such a good one.
Right? I feel
Oh,
like
I
it's
love that.
so your aesthetic and then also
So my
so
aesthetic.
beautiful.
Yeah. Oh,
Did
that's
you
so
know,
cool.
actually, I don't consider myself a geography buff, but something, I don't know, it's weird how like we're so connected in certain ways. But when I was
Mhm.
younger, my favorite thing was to look at maps. Like I would
See?
I would buy like little geography books and like they would literally like I look at them now and like, how do I not understand or like know as many countries as I
No.
did back
Oh my
then?
goodness.
But I found it fascinating. Yeah.
No, it's so cool. I have like maps all over my room as well. I like always look at them. I would like in the morning, I'd look at them and getting ready. And then like in my dad's office, for whatever reason, you'll see this, but like he has maps of like like South Korea and China and India and Indonesia, like old maps that he bought in like the 90s when he was like traveling there, like when people used maps. And like, I don't know why, like I think maps are so beautiful. Obviously, there's a whole political side of maps, like who owns which territory, and like we don't have to get into that. But like on a more shallow level, I think maps are really beautiful, especially the way people are done. So yeah, definitely dream house, 2 maps, 2 atlas. That is a yes. Another bucket list thing that I have, and this was a thing that I got inspired to do since being in China. I want to own, or not own, operate, be involved with a summer, I don't even know, a fruit stall or like a fruit smoothie place. Don't want
I
to work
love
at
that.
Starbucks, but like I want to sell fruit. I want to be around fruit.
I love that. I think that's so your vibe. I see you like your side hustle at some point going to be
Like
running
selling
a fruit
strawberries,
store. But
honestly.
also I see you like getting into it and then just like making a multi-million-dollar business out of it. Like you start in your humble little fruit store and then it like turns into a multi-million-dollar franchise of some sort. Um
One can only hope. I heard this news today. Apparently, rip everyone in the US, avocado sales are being cut by 80% now because as of February 11th, there is the last shipment of the Mexican avocados coming to the US. There's some geopolitical situations, so avocado prices are going to go way up.
oh my
So
goodness.
bless your soul, bless your soul.
Good
It's going to
thing that we
be,
don't get real avocados on campus.
oh my God, no, the box guacamole.
The boxed guacamole.
Okay, another one of mine, and then I will pass it over to you, is I want to go to SNL Live. And now this has a new meaning to me because the way you get in is you have to write them like an email, like explaining why you want to get in. It's a lottery. My friend who I met 2 days ago wrote an email and he got it. He saw RuPaul and Justin Bieber's like the week before COVID started. And like all he wrote was like, I really want to go. I'm your biggest fan. Like it was not, I was expecting like a college essay level thing. Like it wasn't long. It was like 3 sentences. So I'm like, wait, I can do that. Opens in August. And then they just like email you like whatever time throughout the year, like this is your week, like you have 2 tickets. And I think I'm going to do it in August. Like I could be in New York in the fall. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And my story, tell me if you like my pitch. It's like Saturday Night Live. For me, it was Sunday morning, not live, because I grew up in Hong Kong watching it, but also in VPN. So I would love to be able to actually see Saturday Night Live. That's kind of the pitch. But
I
tell me,
love that.
that is the dream there.
I feel like that's one of those things that like I would not even like think about doing. Like I would not even like think of putting on my bucket list, but is so cool. And like something that maybe I'll do. Like I don't even
Do
watch
it.
Saturday
Do
Night
it.
Live, but
Why not? You live
cool,
close.
right?
Why not?
Yeah. No,
Why
I
not?
feel like sometimes I'm like so in my bubble about things. I'm like, these are my like
No.
5 things that I'm like doing.
No.
And then you hit me with like something so left field and I'm like, whoa, like that is something so cool.
Literally.
That's literally how most of our conversations go, but I love it.
No. Oh my goodness. Okay. Do you have one for me to hit me with?
Let me see. Bucket list of like, let me see. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe like a sport that you really want to try or like an activity that you really want to try.
I want to go bungee jumping.
Ooh.
I say that, but like I'm so scared and I probably won't, but like that sounds so cool. Like how
Yeah.
like I sound so adventurous. I sound so that, but like the
I
moment
love
when you're
that.
like when you go down.
Yeah.
Oh my
You know,
God.
okay, so I used to be like when I was little, like bungee
Yeah.
jumping was like top thing on my bucket
Mm.
list. Like I loved that feeling. And then my 8th grade physics teacher told me that when you're on a roller coaster, you know that empty like gut feeling you feel? It's
Sure.
because it's literally your innards are not attached. Like so they literally
Stop,
are
stop,
moving.
stop,
And so
stop.
now every time I'm on a roller
No,
coaster and I
no,
feel a little empty, I'm like, ooh,
no,
they're just there.
no,
And
no,
I'm
you're
like,
totally right.
I
You're
don't like
totally
it.
right. You're totally right. Oh, I did not need to hear that, but you're totally right.
Yeah,
Oh
no, it's
God.
crazy.
No,
Anyway,
you're
don't think
totally
about it
right.
too much, but
Yeah. Oh my
yeah.
goodness. Yeah, that's it. But try not to do that.
Um,
Okay. Another thing I have
yeah.
on here, I want to go to like, I don't know where I'll be in my life or what sort of cost this will be, but I want to go to those like one of those ridiculous life-changing like spa wellness retreats.
Yes.
I don't know
Let's
what
do
it's
one,
gonna look like.
please. Can we do one
Please.
together?
There's this one place in San Francisco like Osmosis. Apparently like sit in a bath for like 3 days. Like weird stuff happens in these. Like I want to drink like carrot juice at 3 a.m. Like I want to do all the weird stuff they're doing and like just try it. I'm not going to
Yeah,
say it's going to change my life. Like I want to do some sort of wellness retreat, just completely offline yoga, like just relax. I want that.
100%. We should do that. I feel like that's
Please. That would be
something
so amazing.
so cool.
Oh my
Okay,
God. No, that
we'll
would be
put that on
so
our
different.
bucket list
Oh,
together.
please. Please, please, please.
Yeah.
This is so random. I want to stand on the equator. I remember in 4th grade, my 4th grade teacher showed us a photo of her in Kenya standing on the equator. And I was like, that'll be me one day. So
One
I'll take a
day.
photo of me at the equator, but also
Yeah,
Singapore, basically.
Yeah, basically. I
Literally.
think for me, I have a lot of bucket list items that are about like creating things.
Ooh,
Like
tell me.
so like
Tell me.
one of my bucket list items is create a YouTube channel, create a
Mm.
TikTok,
Mhm.
but also more just like I want to learn, like I'm very big on like arts and crafts, did crocheting since I was like in 3rd grade. But rug making is something so cool and I want to get into rug making, which is so random, but it's so
Crazy.
cool. And then also I just want to like get back into like crocheting more. I used to make like carpets and like
Carpets, that's huge.
yeah.
Like a living room carpet or like I'm getting outside the shower, gotta dry my feet carpet.
Like a living room carpet.
Oh
No,
my
like,
God,
not like a
Weylyn.
big living room, probably like a small living room.
Like a
but
Hong Kong living room.
Yeah.
That's
Like think of
amazing.
like a carpet for like a kid's room. Like I made my cousin like a ladybug carpet once.
Weylyn,
Yeah.
are you taking requests? You start a Squarespace store. And with that, use code. No, I wish.
Oh my
I learned
goodness.
yesterday, Squarespace is the #1 advertiser in podcasts. They advertise on over 400 podcasts.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Interesting,
Sponsor
right?
us, please.
Truly.
Also, oh my goodness, 2 crazy things. I watched the Super Bowl. This is not bucket list related.
So American. Go off. Go.
Right? Yeah, no.
Go.
The Super Bowl is truly an American.
The most American thing I can ever possibly think of. Yeah.
But the ads on the Super Bowl, first of all, I thought they were pretty underwhelming, except for Coinbase. Coinbase is one.
Coinbase popped up.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Crypto.com also had some good ones.
Yeah. But like the Coinbase one with like the QR code that like hit. Did you see this one?
No, actually I didn't see that one. I'm sorry. I'm thinking the crypto
maybe it's
one.
not Coinbase, but Coinbase.
No, maybe it is. Maybe I'm like totally confused. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I just watched the YouTube video, like top 10 ads.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I loved it. Also, our Queen Zendaya popped off. Her ad, she's literally so beautiful.
She's also the ad for Squarespace. You go on Squarespace website right now, she is the face of Squarespace. And
but basically Coinbase, it was so cool. Coinbase had like a QR code that like hit like the DVD player.
No.
Hit the corners, or like didn't hit the corners until the last one and it hit the corner.
That's
people scanned
so cool.
the QR code and then their website broke down and they were like, oh, like it seems like too many people are coming to our website.
Oh my God.
And people are like, oh, did they do that on purpose? Or like did they expect it? And it's like it was like a pretty big, I don't know.
That's good. Because even like bad marketing can kind of be good marketing. Like even when it's like bad press, the website breaks down. Like it seems that any big launch of any famous product, the website always crashes, which makes people want to buy it even more. Like we know it's going to crash. Like there are troubleshooting. They did this one thing in Shanghai a couple months ago where on the Bund, they got like thousands and thousands of drones to go into the air and make this like QR code where people could scan. Like imagine the lights in the night are made out of the lights coming out from the drones making a QR code. It was crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Kind of related to this, but I did a math competition, HIMCM, I believe is the name of it, in like
Beautiful.
sophomore year.
Yeah.
And one of the things was like they wanted to make a dragon out of drones in the sky, and you had to like calculate where it was. Believe me, I had no idea how we did it. There was like one girl on our team who really carried us through that competition, but the thought of doing it was really cool.
That is so cool. No, we love that. We love the ambition that competitions and hackathons bring. Like you start a hackathon, you're like, we're going to solve cancer, like literally right now in the next 24 hours.
100%.
And you're like, maybe we could make like a paper airplane. Like maybe, it always goes like that. No, that's a good one too. Another one I have on here is start an NGO, like solely dedicated for an NGO. And like, there are of course different causes that I care about right now. And I'm totally confident that there's gonna be causes that I don't focus on right now that I'm gonna focus on in the future. But right now, I think one that I would do would be about like women's financial empowerment. Don't know what that would look like right now. Maybe like a center, maybe education, but that's definitely something I want to do and get involved with. What about you? What would be like the NGO if you could create one right now?
I'm not sure if this would be an NGO, but something I'm pretty passionate about is like eating disorders specifically in Asia. Yeah. And so one of my friends, actually, Maddie, she brainstormed this idea with me back in like senior year of high school. But
oh my gosh.
Basically think of like a Soul Cycle, but like attached to it is also like a wellness center where like women, it's like a women only Soul Cycle where you can like go and work out. It's a women only gym. It's a women only trainers, women only like health center where you can get checked for, like gynecologists.
Sure.
Like, it's all just like very like positive towards like body image and all of that. And I think if I ever have the money to do that, I think that would be something super cool and scalable. We love a good scalable business, but
absolutely, Skip. That's so important. That's one of the things too. Like you and I both discussed that to some degrees. We've struggled with eating disorders. And I think in some way of giving back and like doing that full circle, I don't know what that's going to look like. And I know there's been many attempts at that, but finding a way that can break the cycle, because it feels like that cycle's only accelerating, like more and more 100%. People, either more people are talking about it, which is great, but it feels like more people have maybe than before. I'm not sure. I don't know. Like, it's hard to say.
I feel like with eating disorders specifically, it's weird because like we're kind of like, or like at least I find it weird because I feel like I'm kind of like in the middle where I see like the Western world progressing so much and so quickly with, like there's still a lot of work to do, albeit, but they're like progressing a lot in like terms of talking about it, in terms of like the culture and like people seeking help for it. While in Asia, I feel like it's still very like not talked about. It's still considered a very like white person problem, and being skinny is still like one of the most important like body norms, which is exacerbated by like natural body weight already sitting at a pretty low level for majority of the women. So, and also men, I would love to do something for males who are also struggling with basically everyone who's
no, absolutely no, but I think you're right. I think you're totally right. Like there is a stereotype of people who do usually struggle with that, the eating disorders, but even with that, they're not getting the help. And then from that as well, it makes people feel like if they're not in that set group, which just by looking at things are like rich white women, that's just what happens. Like you can look at the statistics, that's statistically in the past what they've cited as being like the stereotype for it. So seeing that group hasn't like solved it yet, anyone who's not on that group that may experience it might feel even more apprehensive to get help and seek treatment, because it's like
not even know that they have an eating disorder, which is scary.
Exactly. Like even kind of doing that. No, I think it's a really good point. And with that as well, like I think there's lots of ways that you can like put that out. Like I don't know if that's we mentioned this on like an NGO, but if that's like a course or even like a book, I don't know what that looks like, or movement. It's hard to say, because sometimes with these things as well, it's not something people like want to talk about, which to be fair, I guess, you know what, I don't know if this is a good comparison to make, but I'm just going to make it anyways. Like something with like being an alcoholic, like people are not proud or typically want to talk about being an alcoholic. It's a very secretive thing. Like, it's not like someone is like, what? Like if you're really an alcoholic, it's not something that you like celebrate or tell people about like your true addiction. You do it silently by yourself. And even with that though, they've been able to build AA and start that conversation. So maybe the movement to help eating disorders can kind of follow that, like that safe space environment, like that don't ask, don't tell situation. Maybe that could be a situation like developing like an AA for EDs.
Good ideation. We'll definitely have to ponder more on that. I feel like for me, I don't know. That's like the weird thing. Like I feel like, or I don't know whether it's like a weird thing, but I've always thought about like sharing like my own story with like unhealthy eating habits to help make people feel more comfortable. And I feel like that's always been something, but doing something more tangible and like making an NGO of some sort would definitely be on my bucket list.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Not on the same topic at all. So switching gears a little bit, one of the things I have on here is I don't know to whatever degree that is now, but do an annual trip with my sister every year. So like this year we did like a little staycation that like once COVID's over and like people are able to move, I would love to do an annual trip with Nicole every year. I feel like you could definitely do that with Kaylin as well.
I love that. Yeah, I feel like that's so special. I'm excited for financial independence.
Oh my God.
I have control over my own schedule and just like control over like things. Like I feel like
pop off.
It's gonna be great. And I'm excited to do like annual trips and like
actually talk to me about that. Tell me okay, I feel the same way, but I want you to vocalize this. Tell me why you're so excited about financial independence and what that means to you.
Oh, I feel like
go off.
There's a couple of reasons. I feel like I grew up, always wanting to give back to my family. I see my parents giving back to, their family a lot. And that's something that I grew up knowing it was important to me. So I feel like financial independence for me is like finally being able to say like, thank you to my parents in many ways. And like, they don't need, I don't think, or like, just like being able to support them in the future is something really important to me. But on the other hand, I feel like being financially independent gives you a lot of like freedom in a lot of ways. So I don't know, like I find it really exciting that I can manage not only my time, but also just like where I'm putting my money and what I'm doing with my money, where right now I don't know. I'm excited for that future.
No, that's awesome. I think it's so cool as well. And there's definitely a spectrum of what financial independence looks like over time. Like for the most part, people who have been reliant on their parents for a while don't go from like kind of 100 to 0 overnight in terms of percentage. There's definitely a waning. And like, I think you and I are even in the process now, like waning from where we were like even like 1-2 years ago, like in high school and where we are now, like financially supporting ourselves a little bit more. And I used to think it was like, I'm fully supported. And then like one day I turn like 20 and like, it's off. Like that's not how usually it happens, at least in the circumstances that I'm in, I think you might be in. So yeah, it's like, it's gradual and it's okay. And like the same way it's going to be your gradual net inflow from our parents in this app, it's going to be also a gradual net outflow in the way that we're also earning more money. Like it's not like they're both one's going to rise as one falls in a natural way. So I have confidence in that, but definitely want to accelerate that in whichever way that I can kind of have like,
I think for me, it was also a big realization in 2022 where I was like, shit, like I'm doing a lot of work for free. And like
tell me more.
My time is valuable. I think it was like a very like key moment where I was like, I'm not doing anything that A, doesn't make me happy, and B, that I'm not getting paid for or valued for. So like even if a project's super cool and like the output's super cool, like putting myself first and being like, I need to be paid for the work that I'm doing because the work I'm doing is valuable was like a huge turning point and allowed making decisions about projects or onboarding projects way easier for me.
100%.
But yeah, I think just like being honest with yourself, like I honestly did not know. Maybe we should do an episode on this, but like
I think it's amazing.
Price yourself and how to like find businesses or find streams of income. Because honestly, it's not talked about a lot. I honestly just researched like what internships usually pay for their interns on an hourly rate, and then I like I kind of like thought about services that I offered.
Exactly.
But, I don't know. It was definitely a turning point where my dad was like, you might find certain things easy to do, but those things might be really hard for a company to do.
100%.
And you need to be valued for those things.
100%.
Why would they pay me to do this like one thing? It's like super easy.
Yeah. No, I went through the same thing as well. And I had some really great mentors who kind of help with that as well. Like it's difficult, especially like coming from a place where like it feels like children are almost like, like free labor. And that's kind of how like adults sometimes see is like interns, that sort of
Yeah.
thing, like getting cheap labor. And then being like, no, like I'm actually providing something so incredible, unique that really is helping. And then pricing yourself and like knowing your own value, knowing the value for your time. Like I think you definitely hit the nail on the head with that. And like just being able to do something with that, building your own wealth, being able to like do what you want with that money and like gaining a little bit of that financial independence. Like I think that's super, super huge. And then again, like being able to spend it the way you want as well. Cause like it's fun and, you know, have fun with that. And whichever way you choose to do that. Other things I have on here is going on the Trans-Siberian Express. Do you know what that is? The train.
Interesting. Wait, I
Yeah.
feel like, why am I thinking of like Polar Express?
No,
But
like 100%. You're kind of right there, honestly. It's like from very Eastern Russia to like Western Europe.
oh
And like it's
wow.
supposed to be
Okay.
super cool. I've never gone on the longest train ride I think I've been on is maybe like 5 hours. I've done that in France. My parents used
Mhm.
to want to do this. It just COVID. And we were supposed to do it like 2020 as like a graduation thing when we were in Canada. There's this train that goes across all of Canada and it's supposed to be really beautiful. But I think there's something very beautiful about train travel. Call me old fashioned, but there's
Wow.
something
No,
super nice
that's
about it.
so beautiful. I'm looking at pictures right now. That
Super
is
nice, right?
so nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
On that note as well, I also have here, I have 1 month on here just as an arbitrary date, but I want to say extended period without internet. I don't know if that's like I'm hiking in Patagonia
Interesting.
or like we're on our wellness vacation thing or wellness thing, but like I haven't had an extended period in my life in the last like 10 years. Like before, like I guess I've been online. I've maybe had like 3 or 4 weeks off, like completely offline, like while we're traveling. Growing up, my parents would like never let us use our electronics while we were traveling. So maybe like
Mhm.
3, 4 weeks. But like in my young adult life, I've never spent more than like a week, I want to say. Yeah, a week without my phone or without that. So I want to really go deep into that. Are you attracted to that idea? Is that something that like vibes with
I
you
love
or
that. What I find really special about being born in 2002 was
queen?
that I feel like I still remember life without
Yes.
phones and life
Mhm.
without internet and like life without me being glued to like a computer or even like before I had like a DS, I feel like was like
A
my first like big
DS. Oh, honey, that was
electronic
like, mhm.
and so I feel like yeah, like I treasure those moments a lot because I feel like it gives me a perspective of like life before all of this happened, if that makes
Absolutely.
sense. I think
Absolutely.
it feels very like grounding, but you're
It
so
does.
right. Like I remember the first time I saw and interacted with an iPhone, and
Yeah.
from that day onwards, I feel like things like rapidly changed in terms of technology for everyone. And you're right, like I don't think I've spent over a week since when I got my first actually when I first got my phone, I didn't really use it. So like probably like starting in what 10th, ninth grade.
Yeah.
Ninth grade. So what it's been like 7, 8 or wait, I'm literally dumb.
No.
5 years without spending time on my phone.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. And like it really depends. Cause I would say the phone usage does wax and wane throughout the year, even throughout like the
100%.
weekend. Like I definitely use my phone a lot less during the weekend. Like a
Mhm.
lot less. Cause when I go on my phone, I mostly use it like for work and like communication. Like if I'm with someone, I'm not on my phone. If I'm by myself, I'm like, I'm working or I'm doing like I do not use my phone when I'm with people in person. So I get to use like I barely use my phone on Saturdays, which is really nice. And that's something like I've been doing with Shabbat. But like Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, like I am on my phone a lot. I really, really
Yeah.
am. I have to say. And yeah, always looking. I try not to use it. I don't use it before I go to bed. I don't use it first thing in the morning, which is nice. So I've got that like 30-minute buffer on each side. But then during the
Yeah.
day, I'm on it a lot. I really
Yeah.
am. Like just yeah, for whatever reasons, I can always make an excuse. Oh no, I'm doing this. I'm speaking to someone. I'm communicating. It's for school. Like 100%. There's always stuff to do.
Yeah.
But maybe just it's a matter of like not checking it so frequently. Like I feel like sometimes I have to
Yeah.
like respond to messages like a little more quickly than I might have to. Maybe
Mhm.
that's what I have to change. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I feel like for me, so like my screen time usually averages like pretty low. I would say like I usually average like 2 hours to like 3 hours, which is like pretty low, I feel like for
Yeah, that's
like
okay. Yeah.
phone time use. But I feel like for me, it's more just like the way that I use my phone. Like if those
Mm,
2 to 3 hours are intentionally connecting with people or
yes.
are like even just like mindlessly like scrolling through Instagram for 10 minutes because I need a breather, like being
Yeah.
more patient with myself and not like being like, oh my goodness, you used your phone so much. Like it is a form of relaxation that like I feel like
Yeah.
we don't give ourselves credit enough. Like using your phone is often exhibited to like bad traits. And like, albeit if you're like 8 hours on TikTok, like please like don't listen to this. But like I feel like if like there's healthy ways to use your phone, and there's so many good things that happen, that I feel like we shouldn't be beating ourselves up about like how much phone time we use if like you're still getting things done in a day and you're still like being present for the most part. Um, but yeah, I feel like there's a balance between like being intentional with your phone and just like letting yourself like have some guilt-free time
No,
on your phone.
completely agree. My issue is like sometimes like there's days my head literally hurts, or like I feel like no, not my head, I don't get migraines, I get my, like I wear contacts, my eyes hurt because I feel like I've been on a phone, like the screen. And people
Mm,
like wear blue light glasses, which is like a great idea, but my idea is like if I'm using my screen so much that I have to do like a medication or like a probiotic, maybe that's a natural sign that I should not be using my phone this much. And like maybe I'm completely
100%.
wrong, so like controversial, sure, whatever, but like I feel like
No,
with,
I think you're,
yeah, it's like a natural
yeah.
sign. Like maybe it's time to stop.
100%. I feel like I haven't had one of those. Maybe it's just because like when I'm at school and stuff, like I don't use like I don't have like hours on end where I'm like using my phone.
Yeah,
I get that
exactly.
with my laptop though.
Yes,
Like
laptop. That's what, sorry. When I'm talking about screen time, I'm talking about my laptop as well. Like when I get
yeah,
that Sunday night, like screen time, like oh my God, a couple of weeks ago, it was like 16 hours. I'm like, what the fuck? Like how? Literally, I was on so many Zooms. I do not know how that was possible. It was like when
yeah,
I was doing online classes before. Crazy. Could not believe it.
100%.
Could not believe it.
It was, I remember there was a time like last semester too, where like I was doing work on my iPad. And if I was not doing work on my iPad, I was working on my laptop. And if I was not working on my laptop, I was relaxing and watching TV
Exactly.
or like
Yeah.
scrolling through Instagram on my phone. And I was like, this is not good. I was like, this
Yeah.
is too much. So yeah, definitely finding other outlets to relax and stuff. But
Yeah. No,
um
100%. I like that a lot.
yeah. I think to kind of wrap up this podcast, I'd love to learn more about your bucket list for this week.
Ooh,
I know the week is
fun,
almost over,
fun. Love that. Love
but
that. I
just
love
a
that
short
saying
term,
bucket
or
list for
maybe
the
even like
week.
a bucket list for the rest of the day. Like, what's
That's
something that
so
you
much
just want to do?
fun. Okay, so bucket list for the week. We've talked about this right before we got on the recording, but I booked tickets to go to Luxembourg this weekend to visit my friends. So I'm super hyped about that. Never been.
It'd be so fun.
So I am excited about that. Bucket list for tonight. I'm gonna go for a run. The weather is beautiful, so I'm gonna go for a run after
Oh,
this,
I love
which is
that.
just like lovely. And I feel like I'm living a Disney life every day. I like take a selfie at the Eiffel Tower every day, which is like very exciting. And then having some friends over tonight. It started off with like a couple people, but now there's like several people. So I told everyone to just bring food. I'm not providing food. I'm so sorry. This is my birthday again. Not doing that again. Which is fun, but like I'm not a provider. I'm not your host party every single day. And then people were discussing a salsa dance tonight, like going out to, there's like a salsa
That's
place. So
gonna be so
never
fun.
done that, but that could be very fun.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think today I'm gonna take some time to center myself. I've been
Ooh, what does
feeling
that look
pretty,
like?
oddly enough, whenever I think about centering myself, I think about just like stepping on grass barefoot, because someone
Oh my
once
God,
told
I
me
love
that like the
that.
way to ground yourself, like literally to ions, is like
I
to
love
step
that.
barefoot on the grass. Albeit it's a little cold today, so I don't think I'll be doing that. But I think
I
I'm
cannot
gonna
believe you
just,
even live in the cold.
I
Like I
know.
do live in the cold too, but like I feel like you live in way colder than I do.
Yeah. I think today I'm just gonna take some time. Like I slept in a little bit today, which was super nice.
That's
And
so good. Wait,
just
shout out real quick about that as well. Like same last night, my dinner didn't finish till like 11:30, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna wake up at like 6. I'm gonna go on a run. I woke up at 7:30 because I had to leave by 8 o'clock to go to class that started at 9. That's okay to sleep in sometimes or like adjust the schedule. That's a huge thing. I used to feel so guilty about that.
yeah.
You need to.
100%. And I think just taking some time to, I don't know, I really like hosting people, and like I really like
Yes. I think we're
planning
similar in
fun
that.
things. Yeah, like I just love like being able to like make people feel at home, especially when,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's been pretty
100%.
hectic. So I'm planning something fun, hopefully for like Sunday with a couple of friends.
Ooh. Oh my goodness.
Hopefully they don't all have COVID or I have COVID.
That
So
would
like we'll see
be
how that
really
goes.
inconvenient, I have to
But
say.
yeah, I just kind of want to plan something special for people who matter to me and who
No,
have
that
been
means
helping
so
me
much.
with my sprained ankle.
No. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah, sprained ankle. I'm so sorry. You have had your fair share of cripples. So you
I
can't go
know.
to practice at all now, or what's the situation?
Well, okay, so I went to practice on Tuesday, the day that I sprained my ankle, and it literally
Okay.
took me like, it's a 15-minute walk down there. It took me like half an hour, but the walk up, because it's like on a slope, literally took
Okay.
me an hour to get back to my room.
No.
I like cried multiple
No.
times because it was
I
like
would.
just so
No.
hard
Is there
to
no
like
like buggy you
stand
could
on
take?
crutches. What?
Is there no buggy or anything?
I mean, like, there's our public safety, and like, I'm sure if I had like called or
Called.
done
Yeah, it was a
something,
whole
but
thing.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
walking up the hill on crutches and it was just like not it. And I cried multiple times. I was like not having it. And then I emailed my coach. I was like, dude, like I really just can't come down to the boathouse. And it's also icy on the floor. So lots
Oh
of
my
things
gosh.
happening. But I think I'm going to try to get down there today. So we'll see how that goes.
No, that sounds amazing. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm sending you all the love and I hope that everything, it's so weird to talk to you now. It's like still the start of your day. I would used to only speak to you with like it was the morning or the night.
I
You're like midday.
know.
You're like chilling. And it's like
Midday,
midday for me.
we're chilling.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Kinda All Good. I hope you kind of enjoyed this episode of bucket lists, but also just like random tangents, which I feel like is very core to what Kinda All Good is about.
100%. I hope you guys have a kind of all good day and share with us on Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever, where we post this, your bucket list. And I hope this inspires you to kind of, grow your bucket list. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.